Iran blocks the Strait of Hormuz in response to a U.S. blockade of its ports. 3 ships in the region report being attacked.
The Strait of Hormuz remains closed to commercial vessels this morning, as Iran says that any ship that approaches it will be targeted.
Pope Leo says he doesn't want to debate with President Trump about Iran. That's as he arrives in Angola on the 3rd leg of his 4-nation tour of Africa.
Counter-terrorism officers investigate an attempted arson attack on a synagogue in North London. It follows a spate of similar incidents involving the Jewish community.
I think it's absolutely horrendous that these things have happened, but we shouldn't be a bit detracted to be who we are and to stand up as Jews.
As shipping remains stranded in the Strait of Hormuz, a U.S. delegation will head to Pakistan tomorrow for more peace talks.
Donald Trump says there'll be no more Mr. Nice Guy, threatening to knock out every power plant and bridge in Iran if the leadership doesn't agree to a U.S. deal.
Now, Donald Trump says a U.S. delegation, including the vice president, will be in Pakistan tomorrow for further talks with Iran. Their 2-week ceasefire is due to end on Wednesday. Writing on social media, he claimed America was offering a fair deal, and if it wasn't accepted, the U.S. would knock out every single power plant and every single bridge in Iran. It comes as the regime in Tehran says the Strait of Hormuz, a vital artery for global shipping, will remain closed. Here's Frank Gardner.
The Strait of Hormuz is paralysed. This vital shipping route, through which 1/5 of the world's oil and gas normally pass, is under a double blockade by both Iran and the US. Iranian gunboats have attacked at least 2 ships, while the US Navy is turning back all ships coming from Iran's ports. By choking off its exports, President Trump hopes to pressure Iran into making concessions. "We're offering a very fair and reasonable deal," he posted on Truth Social, "and I hope they take it, because if they don't," he warned, "the United States is going to knock out every single power plant and every single bridge in Iran. No more Mr. Nice Guy." But in Iran, which has defied weeks of US pressure, the leadership is urging the US to abandon what it calls its maximalist demands. Meanwhile, the Strait of Hormuz remains closed.
We even stated it to them explicitly. We will close the Strait of Hormuz and we will certainly pursue war. We will utilize all our tools. In this way, we were able to impose our will and our demands.
Donald Trump has recently said negotiations towards a deal are progressing well. A US team is due in Pakistan on Monday evening. But while preparations there are underway, Iran has warned the two sides remain very far apart on several core issues. Frank Gardner, BBC News.
Good evening. Yet another synagogue has been hit by a suspected arson attack, in the latest in a string of attacks on Jewish buildings in North London. Last night saw what appeared to be firebombs used on a synagogue, something the chief rabbi has called a campaign of violence against Jews. No one was injured in the attack in Harrow, but it is the 3rd incident targeting Jewish property in the last week. Jake Robson reports.
We must not be deterred by what is taking place.
Another day and the aftermath of another attack. A makeshift location for Jewish prayers earlier after this synagogue was firebombed here in Kenton. An all too familiar sight for Jews in the UK. The 3rd such episode in a week, following similar in Finchley and in Hendon, and also comes after the recent ambulance arson in Golders Green.
We are undeterred. We wanted to pray, as we normally do, on a Sunday morning or on any other day of the week, and we don't want anything happening should deter that.
Police say they're looking into the possibility this was carried out by the Ashab al-Yamin group, which it's thought could be connected to Iran. Fortunately, the damage sustained to the synagogue behind me was limited to only a small amount caused by smoke. But despite this lucky let-off, shock and fear remain.
We will not tolerate activity that seeks to intimidate and harm our communities. You will not succeed in creating division and hate. And the people who conduct that violence often have little or no allegiance to the cause and are taking quick cash for their crimes.
Sir Keir Starmer says he is appalled by recent attempted anti-Semitic arson attacks in North London. We are, he says, increasing visible policing, and those responsible will be found and brought to justice. The group Campaign Against Anti-Semitism said it betrays a cataclysmic failure of the authorities to tackle anti-Semitic extremism in this country.
This is why the Jewish community have such extensive security presence. Every single day there could be something happening. So every single day people have to be careful, we have to be vigilant, we have to be diligent.
And with the ever-increasing regularity of these incidents, the feeling amongst the Jewish community... Robson, ITV News.